everyone, Roger here. If you love real travel, the kind with good stories, practical tips, and no fluff, you're in the right place. Let's hit the road. What if I told you there is a place in Seattle where you walk through pure darkness, surrounded by glowing towers of color, then suddenly step into a cathedral of glass and fire, with the Space Needle watching over you from above? This is Chihuly Garden and Glass, and no camera in the world can fully prepare you for what you are about to see. The journey begins in the Northwest Room, and immediately the mood is set. Dark walls, dramatic lighting. The art pieces are the only things illuminated, floating in the darkness like glowing jewels. On a long wooden table running the length of the room sit Chihuly's famous baskets. Impossibly thin, translucent glass bowls that nest inside each other. Their soft tobacco tones and thread-like patterning directly inspired by Native American woven basketry. And at the far end of the room, an entire wall covered in Pendleton trade blankets and photographs from Dale Chihuly's personal collection. This is not decoration. These textiles are the direct creative DNA of every glass basket on that table. You can trace the lineage from fabric to glass in a single glance across the room. Then you step into the Sealife Room, and the temperature of the entire exhibition changes. This room is dominated by a tower of deep blue and green glass, about 20 feet tall, built from thousands of individually blown elements. Shells, anemones, starfish, jellyfish, nautilus forms, all spiraling upward in a single dramatic centerpiece. Chihuly himself said he made the Sealife Tower to show how important water is to his work. Along the walls, smaller sea life vessels, quieter, more intimate, reward anyone patient enough to look closely. They feel almost like a bonsai garden compared to the tower at the center of the room. Extraordinary. The next room brings the ceiling down to meet you. The Persian Ceiling, an overhead installation of layered translucent glass forms in every color imaginable, fills the entire canopy above your head. If you have ever stood in the lobby of the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas and looked up at the Fiori di Como ceiling, that was also Chihuly. Over 2,000 hand-blown glass flowers covering 2,000 square feet. The Persian Ceiling here in Seattle carries that same overwhelming upward energy. You cannot help but stop and stare straight up. Then comes the room I personally could not leave. Mille Fiori, Italian for 1,000 flowers. An island of glass, oval in shape, edged along the outside by deep red tubular forms, and packed on the inside with every shape and color Chihuly's imagination could produce. Yellow, green, purple, orange, red, magenta. Spheres, tubes, twisted forms, giant flower spikes, spiky bushes reaching upward. This installation was inspired by Chihuly's mother's garden, built not with tools, but with fire, gravity, and centrifugal force. I walked around it twice, a full 360 degrees both times, and it revealed something different with every step. Underneath the installation, black plexiglass reflects everything back at you, doubling the garden into infinity below your feet. Dale Chihuly, born in Tacoma, Washington in 1941, now 84 years old and still creating. He lost the sight in his left eye in a car accident in 1976, and later dislocated his shoulder in a surfing accident, meaning he could no longer personally blow glass. Rather than stop, he became the director of his own art, orchestrating teams of skilled glassblowers to execute his increasingly ambitious visions. He once said, "Once I stepped back, I liked the view." Next, two wooden rowboats, real boats, sit in the gallery, each overflowing with glass. One filled with Ikebana forms, inspired by the Japanese art of flower arranging. The other filled with Nejima floats, spheres, spirals, conch shells, even donuts. Forms inspired by the traditional glass fishing floats that Japanese fishermen used on the sea, which Chihuly first discovered as a boy beachcombing right here on Puget Sound. The story came full circle. On the walls surrounding the boats, Chihuly's burned drawings. Works created with acrylics, metallic pigments, charcoal, and an acetylene torch fired directly at the paper surface. Raw, gestural, and surprisingly powerful. And then the Chandelier Room, 5 of them. Red, blue, green, white, orange. Each one a gravity-defying explosion of individually blown glass elements. The orange chandelier is perhaps the most dramatic, the thickest, the most muscular of the group, radiating heat and energy. The green one I circled for a close 360-degree look, tubular squash-like forms clustered together, each one unique. And the white installation, 2 pieces designed as one, an inverted flat cone descending from the ceiling above, and a massive pine cone tower rising from the floor below, almost meeting in the middle. Together they form one of the most architecturally ambitious pieces in the entire exhibition. The walls here again carry more burned drawings. 8 framed works, their scorched paper surfaces and gestural energy a fascinating contrast to the precision of the glass above. Before leaving the indoor galleries, one final room stops you in your tracks, the Macchia Forest. 3 walls of the room form a U-shape lined with large glass vessels mounted on poles, each one a towering, luminous flower, some with scallop shell ruffled edges, others with wild organic forms that seem to breathe in the light. The word macchia is Italian for spot or stain, and you can see exactly why. Every single piece carries a dramatic contrast between its inner and outer colors. Deep purple outside, electric yellow within, burnt orange outside, pale green inside. The combinations are bold, unexpected, and completely alive. Chihuly's goal for this entire series was extraordinarily ambitious, to use all 300 colors available to him in a single body of work. Looking around this room, you believe he came very close. Each piece has up to 10 individual layers of colored glass, finished with a rolling of molten glass through shards of contrasting color, giving every surface that vibrant, mottled, spotted quality that makes this series unlike anything else in the exhibition. I walked this room slowly. It deserved it. Passing through the long corridor connecting the galleries to the Glasshouse, the gray walls are lined with 30 framed photographs, a documentary timeline of Chihuly's career, his process, his people, and his installations around the world. It is a quiet, grounding moment between the drama of the galleries behind you and what is about to come. And then you walk through the arch, and everything changes. The Glasshouse. A 40-foot tall glass and steel structure occupying 500 square feet of light-filled space, the result of Chihuly's lifelong appreciation for conservatories. Inside, suspended from the central ridge beam of the arch, is one of Chihuly's largest sculptures, an expansive 100-foot-long installation in a palette of reds, oranges, yellows, and amber. With the early afternoon sun pouring through the glass above and all around, the entire structure becomes a living, breathing thing. I aimed my camera upward from every angle as I walked the perimeter, trying to capture it. I am not sure the camera succeeded. There is something almost spiritual about standing inside this space. The light, the color, the soaring arch above you. It produces a feeling that is genuinely hard to describe. And there, through the glass wall at the far end, the Space Needle, watching over the whole scene. Chihuly picked these colors deliberately. Reds, oranges, and yellows look extraordinary against Seattle's gray skies. He knew exactly what he was doing. Then outside, into the garden. And this is where Chihuly's art does something almost mischievous. The outside garden is an otherworldly mix of real and glass plant forms. Visitors wander the paths through what often resembles the flora of some alien planet. Glass reeds grow beside real ones. Glass flowers bloom among living plants. At times, it is genuinely difficult to tell which is nature and which is art. And I think that is entirely the point. I moved quickly through the garden, 6.5 minutes of footage compressed from what could easily have been double that if I had allowed myself to slow down and take it all in properly. Every curve in the path reveals another installation, another color, another moment of wonder. The Space Needle rises above it all, the whole scene anchored beneath a classic Pacific Northwest sky. I want to be completely honest with you. This camera, good as it is, cannot show you what it felt like to be inside Chihuly Garden and Glass. It cannot show you the depth, the texture, the way the light moves through glass differently at every hour of the day. It cannot give you the scale, the silence of those dark galleries, or the sudden rush of stepping into the Glasshouse for the first time. What it can do is give you a reason to go, and I genuinely hope it does. Chihuly Garden and Glass, Seattle. Go in person. Immerse yourself completely. You will not regret it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button. It really helps the channel. See you on the next travel adventure.